Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to play the guitar solo from the classic Pink Floyd song, Another Brick in the Wall Part 2. Now oftentimes when people cite the best David Gilmour guitar solos, at the top is Comfortably Numb. And I think that's a fantastic guitar solo, but I like this one better. For me, I love the feel of it, I love the way it breathes, the space between the licks. It just hits me every time I listen to it or play it. Now also, oftentimes when people think of David Gilmour, they think of Stratocasters, and for good reason, that's what he's most associated with. But for this guitar solo, he actually used a Les Paul Gold Top with P90s. Now his, unlike mine, was an original from 1954. It's a pretty cool guitar. But anyway, I thought I'd use my Gold Top with P90s just for fun, and hopefully to try and get close to that sound, even though it is pretty challenging. All right, first thing I'm going to do is play the entire solo for you slowly, with the tabs on the screen. That way the more advanced players can get through this more quickly. Then after that, for everybody else, we'll break it down note by note. Let's go. Here's section 1 at normal and then slow speed. So let's break that up into two boxes, and in the first one we'll play slowly, so on the B string we'll play 13, pull off to 10, then 12G, 10B, so far, then 12th fretted G, bend up a full step, and then 10B, 10E, so far. Then we play 13 to B, bend up a full step, hold it for a tiny bit, then add vibrato. Here's that first box again. Then in the second box we play, so it's on the D, G, and B strings, it's the 10th fret, and then 10th fret of just G and B, and then once more, 10 on D, G, and B. All right, let's tie both of those boxes together and play section 1 one more time, slowly, and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 2. Here's section 2 at normal and then slow speed. Let's break it up into 3 boxes, and in the first one we'll play. So you start with a little string scratch on the G string. It's kind of muted, it's kind of faint in the mix. You'll hear that throughout this solo, little muted string scratches like that. Then we play 13th fret of the B string, hold it for a tiny bit and then bend up. Okay? Then at the top of that bend, you're going to hit the note again, and then you're going to continue up another step. Bring it down, add vibrato. All right? Then we'll play in the second box. So it's 13 of B, pull off to 10, and then 12 of G. 12 of G again, bend up a full step, back down. Then in the third box, we'll play slowly. So we start by raking across the D and G strings till you get to the 6th fret of the B string and pull off to 5. Okay. And then 7G, 5B. So far in that third box. And then 5 of G, slide to 7. Then we play 8 of B, followed by a string scratch on the G string, and then 7 of G vibrato. Then you're going to play the 10th fret of G and B really quickly. Sometimes people will, instead of playing that, they'll just like that, which it goes by so quickly, most people probably won't know the difference between and. Let's play that third box a couple times slowly. Now, a lot of times when people perform this or teach it, instead of playing it down here, they'll do it up here at that 10th fret, D minor position you were already in before. And that may seem natural, and you can certainly do that if you want, right? Like, but if you watch David Gilmour, when he does it, he goes back down to this position. Either way, you should be fine. Let's tie all 3 boxes together and play section 2 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 3. Here's section 3 at normal and then slow speed. Let's break it up into 2 boxes, and in the first one we play slowly. So we start with 10 on G and B, followed by 12 on D. Then after that, we're going to do a little string scratch on D, followed by 10 on G and B twice, 12 D vibrato. So far in that first box. Again. And then we're going to do that same movement we just did, 10 on G and B twice, followed by 12 on D vibrato. Here's that first box, slowly. Then in the second box we play, so it's 10 on G and B, followed by 12 on G and B, and then 10 on G and B again. Hold it for a little bit, and then bend it up. You'll notice that the way I notate it, it's half a step up on the G string and a quarter step up on the B string. Just go with what feels right. Let's tie both boxes together. Play section 3 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 4. Here's section 4 at normal and then slow speed. Notice how the notes start to die out because you're not using a ton of distortion with this solo. You can if you want, but you'll notice Gilmour didn't use a ton of gain. So we're going to separate this one into two boxes, and in the first we play. So we start by raking past the D, G, and B strings, and then 13 of high E, bend it up and down. Okay, so far. And then 13 of high E twice. Here's that first box, slowly. Then in the second box we play. Some big bending going on there. Interesting bending. So what we're going to do is play 13 of B, and then you're going to bend it up a full step, back down roughly halfway, and then back up 2 steps. Okay? And then you hold that bend for a little bit. Then you're going to bring it back down about a half step, and then back up to the top of that bend, which is 2.5 steps. Okay? Then when you're at the top of that bend, 2.5 steps up. It's like going from here to here. Okay? Then you bring that note back down, and then back up a full step, add vibrato. And if your note starts to fade out, it's okay. That's what happened to David Gilmour on the recording too. You can use more gain if you want to let it sustain more. That's completely up to you. And then finally at the end, we've got some string scratch. All right, let's play that second box again. Let's tie both of those boxes together and play section 4 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 5. Here's section 5 at normal and then slow speed. Let's break it up into 4 boxes, and in the first one we'll play slowly. So we start with 12th fret of G string, bend it up a full step, followed by 10 on B, 10 on E, so far. And then 13 of B, pull off to 10, and 12 of G. Let's play what we have so far in that first box, slowly. And then we're going to play 12 of G. This time it's a pre-bend. So you bend up a full step, bring it down, 10 of G. Let's play that first box again, slowly. Then in the second box we play, so it's 12 of G, pull off to 10, and then 12 of D. 10 of G, quarter step bend up, 12 of D. Here's that second box again. Let's tie the first 2 boxes together, slowly. Then in the third box we play slowly. So we start with a little string scratch, followed by 12 on D and G, pull off to 10 on D and G. I bar my finger across that 12th fret D and G string and then pull off to the 10th fret of D and G also barred. You can try it like if you want, but I think it's easier just to go. And then 12 of A, pull off to 10, palm muted. So far in that second box. And then 12 on A again, pull off to 10, 8. Let's play that third box. Now we're going to tie the first 3 boxes together, slowly. Then in the fourth and final box we play slowly. So it's 10 on A, pull off to 8, and then 10 on E, pull off to 8. And then 10 of E palm muted twice. And then a string scratch on A, and then 10, 8, 10 on E. Slide down. Let's play that fourth box slowly. Now we're going to tie all 4 boxes together and play section 5 one more time slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 6. Here's section 6 at normal and then slow speed. Let's break it up into 2 boxes, and in the first one we play slowly. So we start by sliding up to 7 of D and then 5, 7 G. And then on the B string, we'll play 5, hammer to 6, pull off to 5, 7 of G. So far in the first box, slowly. Then there's this very, very faint little string scratch in there. It's very hard to hear. Followed by 7 on G, pull off to 5, and then 7 on D. Let's play that first box slowly a couple times. Then in the second box, we play slowly. So it's 5 on G and 7 on G. And then again, one of those really faint little string scratches, followed by 7 on G, pull off to 5. So far in the second box. Slowly. Again, if you want to skip those little string scratches because they're so faint in the mix, you can certainly do that. Okay, they're just very, very hard to hear. And then finally in that second box, we play 6th fret of B, hold it for a tiny bit, and then bend up. Okay. Let's play that second box slowly a couple times. Now we're going to tie both boxes together and play section 6 one more time slowly and then at normal speed. Okay, let's move on to section 7. Here's section 7 at normal and then slow speed. So in that first box, we're going to go. So it's a quick little rake across the G string and then 13 of B. And with that 13 of B, you're going to bend it up really, really fast and then hold it for a bit and then come down. Okay? Sometimes you'll see it bent or tabbed as a pre-bend, like you're already pre-bent before you hit the note. I think it sounds better when you do just a very quick bend instead. Then in the second box we play. So it's 13 to B again, bend up a full step, come down at half a step, and then back up a full 2 steps, and then back down, okay? And then add vibrato. Now we're going to tie both boxes together and play section 7 one more time slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 8. Here's section 8 at normal and then slow speed. So in that first box, we play. So what you're doing here is you're raking past the D, G, and B strings, okay, before hitting the 15th fret of the high E. Now you'll notice that I tab it so that when you go across the B string, you accidentally sound the open B string. That's what David Gilmour did on the record. I'm pretty sure that open string was kind of an accidental ring. And so I wouldn't get hung up on that. I would just rake up to the 15th fret of the high E because it's really hard to replicate throwing in that B string. See what I mean? And then you do some vibrato, bring it down about halfway. And if you bring that bend all the way down, that's fine. And then you're going to do a rake past the B string to 13 of high E, pull off to 10. Okay. Let's play that first box again. Then in the second box, we play. So we're going to slide up to 15 of B, and then 13 of high E, 12 of high E, kind of palm muted. Don't worry if you palm muted or not, but those who know my lessons know I like to get as accurate to the original as possible, every little detail, okay? So far in the second box. And then 15th fret of high E, and you're going to bend, up and down a bunch of times, okay? I could have tabbed that just as very wide vibrato, but I thought it made more sense to tab it as lots of bends. And then toward the end, you can see how it kind of trails off into some vibrato. Look, don't get too hung up on that. Just go with what feels right. Because the reason I tabbed it that way is when you listen to the original, it's almost like the note dies out, and then David does something to get it to start ringing out again, but it's very string noise-ish, right? As that's happening. I wouldn't get too hung up on that. Again, that second box is going to go like this. Now we're going to tie both boxes together and play section 8 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 9. Here's section 9 at normal and then slow speed. Let's break it up into 3 boxes, and in the first one we play. So you're going to bend up the 15th fret of the high E string. It's a pre-bend, okay? So bend it up a full step, then hit it and come down. Okay? Then after that, it's 15 of B, and 14 of G is kind of slightly in the mix, like accidental. I'm playing both notes. But the G string is a little bit fainter. People often miss that and just play the B string, which is totally fine. But I hear that 14th fret of G ringing out or resonating slightly in there. Then in the second box we play. So you're going to bend up at 18 of high E, and then hold it and hit it again, vibrato. Okay? And then 20th of high E, bend up, hold it, vibrato. Here's that second box, a couple times. Then in the third box we play. So it's 20 of high E, kind of palm muted, pull off to 17. And then again, 20 pull off to 17 without palm muting. Let's tie all 3 boxes together and play section 9 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 10. Here's section 10 at normal and then slow speed. So we're going to break it up into 2 boxes, and in the first one we play. So it's 10 on the G string twice, and then a little string scratch, followed by 10 again. Very small bend, quarter step, maybe a little less than quarter step. It's very slight. And then 12 of D vibrato slide up. Let's play that first box again a couple times. Then in the second box we play slowly. So we start with some string scratches, followed by 12 on D, 10 on G, slide up to 14 and 12. Okay, so it's 12D, 12G, slide up to 14D, 12G. And then 14D, 12G, 13B. And then another string scratch, so far. And then 12D, 10G, so far. Now, oftentimes people will tab it and play it where when we move back down to the 12th fret position and we play 12D, 10G, they add in 11 of B, like, okay. You can certainly do that if you want, but to me it sounds like David didn't allow that 11th fret of B to ring out, but either way you should be fine. Again, here's what we have so far in that second box. Then we play 12th fret of D, G, and B, followed by 12 on just G and B, hold it for a little bit, and slide to 10 on both strings. And you hold that for a little bit and then pull off the G string 10th fret to 9, okay? Let's play that second box a couple times slowly. Now we're going to tie both boxes together and play section 10 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move to the final section, section 11. Here is section 11 at normal and then slow speed. Let's break it up into 2 boxes, and in the first one we play slowly. So we start with string scratches times 2, followed by 10 on G and 10 on B with a pinch harmonic. And you're going to bend up. Now, what a lot of people do is just bend up. But if you listen closely to the original, you can hear that David lifted his fingers off the strings after it. That little pull off there, if you will, or lifting of the fingers, it adds this certain feel to it that you miss if you don't do it, right? If you just play it without the pull off, it's different then, right? So again, after that pull off thing, you're going to do some more string scratches, followed by 12 on D vibrato, and another string scratch. Here's that first box a couple times, okay? Slowly. Then in the second box we play slowly. So we start with string scratches, followed by 10 on A, 8 on A, quarter step up, and then 10 on A, palm muted, so far. Then after that, there's again a very little faint kind of scratch, if you will, followed by 8 on A, 10 E vibrato. Okay. You can leave the little scratch out if you want and go. Most people won't know the difference. It's very faint in the mix. All right, let's tie both boxes together and play section 12 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's wrap it up. Well, that was my lesson on how to play the guitar solo from Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall Part 2. If you found it helpful or informative, I would appreciate a thumbs up, and please hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already and you want to catch content like this in the future. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I will attempt to answer them as time allows. Until next time, rock on.